right, welcome back to week 2. Professor RealTalk back with you. Last week, I told you that law is everywhere. This week, I'm going to prove it with something simple. Coffee. Yeah, that $5 Starbucks run you do without thinking, that's a contract. Now, here's how it works. A contract at its core has 3 main ingredients. Number 1, offer. Number 2, acceptance. Number 3, consideration. Those 3 words sound fancy, but they're really simple. So let's break it down. Picture this. You walk into a Starbucks, you see the menu. A grande latte is listed at $5.25. That's the offer. Starbucks is putting the deal on the table. Next, you say, I'll take a grande latte, please. That's your acceptance. You're saying yes to the terms. Finally, you hand over your $5 or tap your Apple Pay, and they hand you the drink. That's consideration. Each side gives something of value. You gave money, they gave coffee. Boom. Contract complete. Why does this matter? Because once you see it in a $5 coffee, you'll start to see it everywhere. Netflix subscription, same thing. They offer unlimited streaming for $15.99 a month. You click, subscribe, that's acceptance. They bill your card, you binge Stranger Things. That's consideration. Cell phone plans, gym memberships, even your housing lease, all built on the same 3-step foundation. Now, here's the real talk. Contracts don't have to be written down. Some contracts are oral. If I tell you I'll mow your lawn for $20 and you say, deal, and I mow it, that's a contract. The law doesn't always need paper, but here's the problem. If it's not written down, how do you prove what was promised? That's why lawyers always say, get it in writing. Written contracts protect you because you can point to the actual words. Now let's pause here and talk about what contracts are not. People get this confused all the time. If your friend says, I promise I'll come to your party on Friday, that's not a contract. Why? Because there's no consideration. You didn't give anything in exchange. Contracts require both sides to exchange something of value. That value doesn't always have to be money. It could be services, goods, even promises, but it has to be something. Otherwise, it's just a promise. And the law doesn't enforce promises. Now, let me give you a real world story. I had a buddy who sold his old car on Craigslist. The buyer said, I'll pay you $5,000 next Friday. Let me take the car today. My buddy, being too trusting, handed over the keys with just a handshake. Guess what? Friday came and went, no payment. The buyer ghosted him. Now, technically, there was a contract, offer, acceptance, and consideration. But without anything written down, it's almost impossible to enforce. The lesson here is, if you're dealing with something valuable, don't just trust a handshake, get it on paper. Now here's another wrinkle. Contracts have to be legal to be enforceable. If I offer you $500 to steal my neighbor's Wi-Fi password, and you say, yeah, that's not a valid contract. Why? Because the subject matter is illegal. Courts don't enforce shady deals. Same if the contract is against public policy, like selling organs on Craigslist. Doesn't matter if you both agreed. The law says no. Now, contracts also need something called capacity. That means both parties have the legal ability to enter into the deal. If you're a minor, you can't always be bound by contracts. If you're intoxicated, maybe you lack capacity. If you're mentally incapacitated, same deal. This matters in business. Imagine signing a contract with a 16-year-old to work as your sales rep. If they bail, you might not be able to enforce it. So let's bring it back to the coffee thing. You might think, okay, cool, Starbucks is a contract. So what? But once you get this, you're going to apply it to way bigger deals. Signing a lease, that's not just coffee on steroids. Buying a car, same ingredients, just more zeros. Even billion-dollar mergers start with the same 3 things: offer, acceptance, and consideration. Now here's where students mess up. They think contracts are boring or just paperwork. No, contracts are power. Whoever drafts the contract usually has the advantage because they control the terms. That's why landlords draft leases. Gyms draft waivers. Cell phone companies draft service agreements. They know most people won't read the fine print. They know you'll just sign because you want the product. And they bury the terms in there to protect them, not you. You ever heard of arbitration clauses? That's when a contract says you can't sue them in court. You have to go to private arbitration. Companies love that because it usually favors them. Ever see automatic renewal clauses? Well, that's when your subscription keeps charging you until you cancel, even if you forgot about it. That's a contract trick. Now, ever gotten hit with a $200 cancellation fee? That's not random. It's in the contract. You agreed to it. So here's my challenge for you. Next time you buy something, sign something, or click yes on something, pause. Pause for 10 seconds and think, what's this offer? What's the acceptance? What's the consideration? Play the coffee game. It'll start to train your brain to see the contract hiding in plain sight. And trust me, once you see it, you'll never look at your daily transactions the same way. You'll realize you're making contracts left and right every single day. That's not scary. That's empowering. Because when you understand the rules of the game, you can stop being the one getting hustled and start being the one making moves. All right, that's part one. In part two, I'm going to flip it and show you the dark side. The red flags, the hidden fees, sneaky clauses, fine print tricks that companies use to tilt contracts in their favor. Once you see those, you'll know exactly what to watch for before you sign. Stick around. Let's go.